can't have, like if I eat cheese pizza and I'm like, okay, this can't, I start going through the chain of the process.
Sister, best friend or wife, the message is still the same. A girlfriend get a life, oh, girlfriend get a life.
Well, you're back with me, Carita Dee. So glad to have you in the house. And of course, it is a great day, a great night, always giving God thanks for whatever is going on in your life. You got to go give thanks through it. Hey, I want to say the live Facebook stream is up. So go on. We're on live on Facebook. Yay. So all my Facebook friends, go on right now because I am right there. Put your comments right there. We want to hear from you. Hey, listen, I just want to say thank you to all of you who've hit me up on Facebook, especially in the last 24 hours and have reached out and comforted me and shared your stories with me and prayed with me. I appreciate that so much. You don't know how much that means to me. And continue to keep your prayers coming. I covet your prayers. I believe it's important that when you get to a point in your life that you realize that you can't do anything else, that your friends can come in and pray with you. Now, everybody doesn't have to agree, you know, because there's some things that you share with your friends because you want to share with your friends. You want your friends praying with you. Now, it's your opinion. If you don't feel like I should share it with my friends or you don't want me to share it with you, well, then you don't have to be there. But my friends understand that as a group, especially my diehard Christian friends, you know, the ones who love to pray like me, when we get together, we know that prayer changes things. So we really believe in prayer. So I thank you. Now, tonight, I want to pray for you. If you're going through something that is really rocking you, I mean seriously rocking you tonight, something that is just so devastating, I want to be a part of what God is doing in your life as well. So I want to say a big shout out to Mavis Smith, who says hello. God bless you, Mavis. Thank you for always locking in and locking on with me. And of course, all of you continue to keep your thoughts coming and your comments coming right there on Facebook and also calling us throughout the night. Now, I wanted to talk about a woman's heart, because I think sometimes we women forget, and men sometimes forget, how tender-hearted a woman's heart is. Women are such, we've been designed by God to be helpmates to men. We've been designed by God to be the bearers of children. We've been designed by God to really be able to do things multiple tasks. Okay, so we multitask in everything. And sometimes, because we're women and sometimes other men don't understand it, we get out of balance. We try to be great in everything, but we're not. I remember back in I believe it's the 70s, so don't date me too much, but I believe in the 70s or the early 80s, there was a song that said, "I'm not your superwoman." You could try all you want to be all things to all men, but nobody can do that. Nobody. I mean, seriously speaking, if you want to be all things to all men, you got to be Jesus. He is the only one that can be all things to all men. And sometimes when I'm sitting here, I'm thinking to myself, wow, I want to be able to do this. And I want to be better in this. And I want to be able to, you know, be a better wife or be a better talk show host or be a better prayer warrior. And I want to be better at everything. Sometimes the good Lord says, baby, you cannot be excellent in everything. Some things you just have to leave to me. And I just, you know, sometimes you just have to rest in it. And I'm hoping that this is the word that will comfort you tonight. That when people have an expectation of you to be all this and all that, and they complain and they complain and they complain and they complain and you don't say this and you don't say that, and I need to get this and I need to get that, and you're not doing it this way and you don't cook that way and I want it that way, and you can't be all things to all people. That is a spirit of complaining. Sometimes you just have to accept people just the way they are. They are doing, especially women, for the most part, come in to do their very best for you. They really, really do. We come in, we see a need, we meet the need. And then all of a sudden, if you feel like you have been betrayed, if you feel unloved, if you feel like all that you have given and it's still not enough, you get to a point where if you are not careful, if you're not cognizant of what is happening around you, especially spiritually, then you may take a moment and become a little self-critical. And that's what we have to watch, because you cannot be all things to all people. I remember one time I was with someone, and I was sitting there. I had arranged, it was their birthday. and I had arranged this wonderful birthday celebration for them. It was just my way of saying, I love you, and I'm just going to arrange this birthday celebration. And their birthday was on the Tuesday, and I arranged the birthday celebration for the Sunday. And the Sunday was the Sunday before the Tuesday. So I arranged this birthday celebration, and I invited about 10 or 12 people, and went to a beautiful restaurant. I mean, just really nice restaurant. It was $90 a plate. And so multiply that by 10, and it's right at about $1,000 that everybody contributed to make this a really special birthday for this person. And they did have a very special time. It was a really nice time. A couple of days later, when it was on their actual birthday, we were together and we were just celebrating. And all of a sudden, the phone rang. And I happened to mention that this particular thing seemed like it would work for me as well. And the person got extremely offended. They said that I didn't have any right to infringe on their birthday, that why was I being so selfish? And I thought to myself, selfish? I just arranged for $1,000 birthday dinner for you. I did so much, went out of my way with gifts and all of that. I had a great time doing it. I really encouraged it. We had a fantastic dinner. And now all of a sudden, just because I said, I just thought that would work good for me in a particular area, suddenly I was selfish. And it rocked me to the core because I thought to myself, wow, you mean to say that I can't express this with somebody that is close to me, that I can't be free enough without being convicted every single turn? And I suddenly got a revelation that you just can't please everybody all the time. You have to intrinsically be you. Some people will just never, ever, ever be happy. They will never, ever, ever be content. I sometimes, when things like that happen, I run to my friends and I say to my friends, you got to check me for a moment. Did I do something wrong? Was this something that could be interpreted wrong? And they say, no, boo, you a good woman. You a good girl. You do good things for people. You have a heart of gold. They reaffirm me and they tell me, okay, look, you need to just discount that, throw it over your shoulder. It's not right. And you just move on. But sometimes we women tend to dwell on things for too long. And it sits and forms a cancer. And it forms this uneasiness, this feeling of being unloved. And it's not right. It's not right because Jesus didn't make us to carry the weight of the world. Yet we try to. So I just want to encourage you right now. As we come back, I'm going to be praying for a lot of you who feel that you're burdened. Tonight, we're going to get free. I'm Carita Dee, and I'm going to be coming back in just a moment.
Sister, best friend, know why. The message is still the same. A girlfriend get alive. Oh, girlfriend get alive.
For close to a half-century, the Sam McQuaid Charity Softball Tournament has been staged in Bismarck, Mandan, North Dakota. This team is made up of a group of United States soldiers who paid the ultimate price on the battlefield.
This hurricane tip comes to you compliments the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the Caribbean Media Corporation. Be prepared. Keep phone lines free for important calls.
And that's a flour, baking, now the ghee, on your hands like that. So make the balls roll nicely and smooth.
Sister, best friend, know why. The message is still the same. A girlfriend get alive. Oh, girlfriend get alive.
Well, you're back with me, Carita Dee. So glad to have you back in the house. Hey, the phone number here in Barbados, 246. You know the number. It's right there. 467-1046. And, of course, the 800 number for those of you who are calling from the Caribbean. It is toll-free. And that number is 855-213-7500. For those of you outside of the Caribbean, you might want to just lock into Facebook and then just hit me up right there and we can talk right from Facebook. Now, I want to say a big, big good night to my Facebook friends who are all locked in and locked on right now. So I just want to say glad to have you on board, all right? You guys are great. You're the best friends I have, and I just appreciate you so much. Gabrielle Lord, who's always I think she's still in New York. Hi, Gabrielle. She says, I'm locked on and praying for you. I love you too. Mwah. Also, Maureen Davis, who is saying good night, Carita. God doesn't put more on anyone than they're able to bear. Ain't that the truth? Also, Marcia Aline says, good night, girlfriend. Carita, I love you more. All right. Let's see who else is coming in with me. We've got Indira Muhammad. Thank you, Indira. Glad to have you on board. We've got Trudy King. Always there with me, Trudy. Love you so much. Sandra Adams Backus. Glad to have you on board as well. Lana Evans, always on board with me. Cheryl Bourne. Glad to have you. Let's see who else we've got right here on Facebook. Man, make yourself known. Also, make sure that you're telling me where you are. Margaret Trotman, Patrick Snare. I believe Ron Kanigi was on right there from Charlotte, North Carolina. So many of you, just make sure if you're from Barbados, if you're from the USA, tell me the city that you're in so that we can really reach out and make sure that we acknowledge you, all right? We are talking tonight about talking from a woman's heart. And I want to make this really, really clear. I know that a lot of you have been praying for me. I've been going through something that is uniquely devastating. I know that a lot of you may think that I am sad or I'm unhappy. I'm not. I just want you to know that real quick. I'm not unhappy. I'm a prayer warrior in God's kingdom. So I do a lot of prayer. Sometimes when I get to the point where I'm feeling a little tired, I reach out to people to pray with me. In this particular situation that I'm going through, which is a marital situation, I'm reaching out to as many people to pray with me simply because I believe that one can put 1,000, two can put 10,000 to flee. That's what the Bible says. So if two can put 10,000 to flee, think of how many demons and how many devils and how many enemies we can bring down if we are 1,000 strong or 500 strong or 50 strong. So I just want to encourage you to keep on praying with me. I really, really, really covet your prayers. Now, I know that sometimes we want to talk about things that are devastating because people like to get the juice. I don't want to be just getting the juice. I want to be able to share with you so that you get good knowledge about this. Let me tell you a little bit about me. When I'm going through something challenging, and I've gone through many challenging things, when you are called by God to do great things on the earth, when you're called by God to do something that is big, something that is challenging, if you're called by God to go into a region and take a region, if you're called to go in a country or to take a city or whatever the case may be, it is never, ever going to be easy. Straight up. I remember when God called and told me to come to Barbados, to be on the air in Barbados, it was a big, big challenge. I had challenges, from family. I had challenges from people that were really, really close to me and that I never expected I would get a challenge from. So that is part of the territory. When you read in the Bible and you see the Apostle Paul and Peter and all those guys going out doing the work for the Lord, man, they endured some sick stuff. I mean, sick. They were like put on the chopping block consistently. So it doesn't mean that because somebody is reaching out for prayer, like they're weeping at home and everything's so bad. No, we're faith fighters. One of the things that God encourages me from time to time, we think of David. Sometimes when we're called, we always think that we are so not quite ready for the job. Sometimes we feel incapable. I know my friend Ron Kanigi can certainly identify with that. We don't feel like our life is put together enough. Sometimes we are in a certain area. We're thinking, oh gosh, Lord, you could not be calling me to do this because I am certainly not ready. But God never calls the justified. He justifies the called. So therefore, he's expecting us to rely on him, to lean on him, to constantly pray to him, to be in his face all the time. I don't take this lightly. I know that I'm influencing people around the world. I'm taking this region in Jesus' name. I want that my girlfriends are here with me every single day, and we're going to take this region and we're going to really, really go to the next level with Jesus. But at the same time, every so often, you know, I get a challenge, boom, and it comes in. And even though I'm going through my own particular challenge and I'm praying, I'm reaching out, I'm trying my best to solve these problems. Maybe something is not working. I'm trying something else. Time is going by. I try something else and it's not working. And I come back and try something else again. And I'm saying to myself over and over again, wow, this is not working. I know in a particular situation that I've been going through, I have called in several pastors. I have met with several ministerial leaders. I have met with constant counselors. I have prayed consistently. I went through an 8-night fast where I was praying in the midnight hour for 2 to 3 hours consistently every night. I was quoting every scripture known to man on the subject every single day for over 3 years. I was just doing what I needed to do. But sometimes, even in the midst of all that, it almost seems like it's getting worse. And you're saying, God, I am doing the best I can. How many people can agree with me on that now? Come on. If you're on Facebook, say yes. Or if you're out there, just give me a call in Barbados and say, yes, Carita, that's me. 467-1046. Go ahead and call me and just say, Carita, yes, that's me. I've been out there. I've been working my butt off. I've been praying consistently. I got my girlfriends to come together and pray for me. I got the prayer warriors praying, the intercessors. I've got my scripture. I got my Bible. I'm reading it every night. I've done everything, and it still isn't getting any better. And what do you do when you see it like that and it's not getting any better? What do you do when you thought that you had all the answers and it's still not getting any better? Well, sometimes you just got to do one more thing. Plain and simple, just one more thing. And so I reached out today on Facebook and I did my one more thing. I just tried. You got to keep trying. Okay? Faith without works is dead. You got to keep trying. I can't just curl up and die. I'm not going to curl up and die. I'm a warrior. I'm not going to curl up and die. I am going to fight this thing down to the end. The reason why I'm going to fight it down to the end is because souls are involved. I am so concerned. I'm an evangelist. I'm so concerned about people's souls that I don't want people to, listen, we can get to the point where it's really pricking your heart. You feel like you're going to die, but still, it's more important to think about what happens to people after life. I'm Carita Dee, and I'm going to come back and talk to you straight talk right after this.
Sister, best friend, know why. The message is still the same. A girlfriend, get alive. Oh, girlfriend, get alive.
Guyana's first carnival experience has been dubbed a success. The festival, which kicked off on May 18th, climaxed on Sunday with the parades of the bands. Thousands of Guyanese from all corners of the country, as well as a large amount of tourists, on Saturday braved the weather and took to the streets of Georgetown to get a glimpse of the beautiful and earthily decked out men and women in their brightly colored costumes to celebrate the country's 52nd independence anniversary.
This hurricane tip comes to you compliments the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the Caribbean Media Corporation. Be prepared. Avoid sightseeing.
It's not been easy keeping that publicly owned community station alive. And it's part of a network that's seen its share of troubles. Can you talk about that? Why do you think it's been so hard?
I mean, it is so important, Pacifica's roots, going back to World War II and the first Pacifica station, KPFA in Berkeley, founded by a war resister who came out of the detention camps named Lou Hill, who said there's got to be a media outlet.
Sister, best friend, know why. The message is still the same. A girlfriend, get alive. Oh, girlfriend, get alive.
Well, you're back with me, Carita Dee. So glad to have you back in the house. You know, we're talking just intimately as women tonight, simply because sometimes we forego each other and we just don't understand that we have to have the heart of each other. We have to have each other's heart. That's what God wants us to do. That's why he created us, so that we could be a helpmate, not only to men, but we can help other people. We're designed to help. And I just want to say a big, big shout out to all my girlfriends who are helping me right now. Eunice, yes. She says, yes, absolutely. She feels that way. Crystal Clark says yes. Eugene Linton says yes. Yep, that's right. Samantha Griffith says yes. Who else is saying yes tonight? Let's see. Marcia Aline says yes. Want to hear some other folks who are on board with me. Thank you so much for coming on board. Jeanette Mitchell says hi. I'm locked on. And she says, you're one strong woman of God. Listen, girl, you don't even know. Sometimes you feel like you're strong, and other times you feel like, wow, I don't know if I can take another day. One of the things that has helped me through the years, for all the girlfriends who are listening, just eye to eye, when you are having problems, regardless of whether they're marital problems or children, problems with your children, problems with your own personal life, addictions, whatever the case may be, you cannot keep condemning yourself over and over and over. That is one of the sickest ways that you can create a lifelong illness in your body. I meet women all the time, and all they complain about is pain in their body. We women carry a lot. We are the homemakers. We are the mothers. We are the encouragers. We are the sexual relievers. We are the cooks. We are the encouragers. We're everything. And it seems to be this race to be all these things every single day. At some point, baby, if you don't stop, you're going to break. Plain and simple. If you don't stop, you're going to break. We also want to be, now that we're in this generation, we want to be achievers. So when you get all this happening simultaneously, it stands to reason that at some point, one or two or three of those things, it's not going to work. That's why you have to have people around you who are sympathetic and understanding of the road to travel. One of the things that I have found is that women don't support each other enough. For example, I'm going to take myself. I'm here. I'm trying my best. I'm doing my thing every single day. I'm trying to help my husband. I'm trying to help people who come to me every day. I'm praying for people. I'm working. I'm doing all kinds of things behind the scenes. I get back home. I gotta cook. I gotta try to get everything cleaned up. You're just constantly going all the time, and at some point, your tank has to be replenished. My tank has to be replenished. If you're constantly giving and nobody is replenishing your tank, then you got to get that tank replenished somewhere. If the people in your home, your intimate life, is not replenishing your tank, then you got to get the tank replenished. That's where good girlfriends come in. I've got good girlfriends that if I'm not getting my tank replenished, then they come to me and say, girl, I think you need 2 days off. Why don't you just sleep for a day? Why don't you do this? Why don't you go get your nails done? Come get your hair done. I got to say big ups to my girl, Marcia Aline, who is always there fixing my hair, straightening my hair, whatever the case may be, always getting me together. Got to say big ups to Stacy, who's doing my nails and making me feel like a woman, because these are the things that help to make us feel at peace and uniquely qualified to continue to do the job. And if we neglect ourselves every single day, then what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to shrivel up and die. And then it gives everybody else an opportunity to say, you see, she wasn't doing it. No, we get tired. We get tired. And so if we don't support each other, now what we find happening is you would have a woman, okay, she's doing all that. You know she's all that. But somehow another woman feels that she can do it better, right? That's what you have, especially in the marital syndrome. So she feels she can take care of your husband better. She feels that she can sex him better. She feels that she could cook better and clean better and all of these things better. But in actuality, baby, we all trying. You know, come on now. Ain't none of us really that much different than the other. You may be able to do one area maybe a little bit better because you might be 15 years younger. You know what I'm saying? But then try with the wisdom, and you don't have the wisdom for that moment that he needs, the counsel. that he needs the development, that he needs the support. All right, what about women who compete with other women? Like, for example, on the workplace, you get women who are constantly catty, talking about each other, tearing each other down. And you say to yourself, well, after you get through with all of us that was supposed to be working together, and we're tearing each other down, and we get home, and then we don't have a support system at home, what are you doing? I mean, where are you? Seriously, I meet women like this all the time. And I'm saying to myself, God have mercy. How are my women getting through? No wonder I'm meeting so many women broke, busted, and disgusted. No wonder the cancer rate is so high. No wonder when we have a moment, we sit and eat sugar. That is escalating the cancer cells in our bodies. No wonder I thought to myself when I came back to the Caribbean, why is this cancer rate so high? Because our emotional tanks are empty. And when our emotional tanks are empty, then we go eat things that are not good for us. We go sit down and eat some bread and cheese. Well, the bread then turns into sugar, and there it is, problems. Then we go eat all kinds of potato and yam and this and that. Boom, more sugar. Then we sit down, we eat sugar with, we eat a sugar cake, and we eat all these, and then we can't understand why we have cancer. Because our emotional tanks are not being filled. Can I talk to the men for a moment who are listening? God, just take a moment and fill your loved one's emotional tank. Just go to her and say, baby, I got you today. I'm going to take care of you. You've been such a good woman. You did this for me. You did that for me. You took care of me. When everybody else wasn't saying nothing to me, you were there. You got to reaffirm your woman. Tell her that she's all that in a bag of chips and the dip and the flip and the whip. Don't discount her, dispel her, throw her away like a dog, and then suddenly make her feel like somebody can come in and replace her. That is disgusting. You ought to be lifting her up. God made her for you. Take her tonight. Make sure that you tell her something good. Women love communication. And are you going to take that for granted? Or are you going to sit outside the will of God and start something that's going to create such a bad thing happening in your life when you've got what you need right there? I'm not kidding about this tonight. I really mean this. Because women are a gift from God. God could have just put Adam on the earth and it would have been all right. But he said, no, let me make a helpmate for him. You can do this, ladies, and you can do it, men. Women need to take some time and just focus on self and get themselves back together. Sometimes, we go through a season. I've gone through seasons where it's like, okay, I gained some weight because I was feeling a little depressed that things weren't moving fast enough. At that time, you want to have girlfriends that say, girl, don't worry about the weight. We got you. We're going to work on that in a moment. Hey, listen, I'm going to continue to work with you. If you're going to work with me, we can help each other because we're all going to the next level. I'm Carita Dee, coming right back.
Sister, best friend, or wife, the message is still the same. A girlfriend, get a life. Oh, girlfriend, get a life.
This hurricane tip comes to you compliments the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the Caribbean Media Corporation. Be prepared. Develop an emergency communications plan. Make sure all family members know what to do, especially children.
Resurf just takes on a whole community of its own, and what's so great is that it's a surf community that you're building in other countries and other areas, and you're bringing these group of people together, and they don't need to speak the same language, but they can surf and they can ride that surfboard.
This hurricane tip comes to you compliments the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the Caribbean Media Corporation. Be prepared. Keep a working flashlight and batteries available during the hurricane season.
Sister, best friend, or wife, the message
Well, welcome back to the Carita Dee TV show. So glad to have you back in the house. Of course, you know the phone number here in Barbados, 246-467-1046, if you want to call in. And, of course, all of you on Facebook, you're just putting your comments right there, and I so very much appreciate it. Many of us are, especially women, are taking a great big hit, especially in the kingdom arena. We're going to church. We are church warriors. We're working for God. We're working in the kingdom. We're coming home and working at home. We're trying to work our jobs. We're trying to work for the children, work for the house, be the sex kitten. We're trying to be all these things. And at some point, it crumbles. And it's the most devastating thing when you are so easily replaced. It's not a good feeling to know that you have invested so much. You've done the best that you can. And then somebody comes along and thinks they can do it better. Baby, I got to tell you right now, that is a myth. If you think we women really have to get past this competition among each other, we have to respect each other. We have to remind each other that this person right here is equally as valuable as I am. We should never think that I can do better than her. No, you haven't lived in her body. You haven't lived her experiences. You haven't lived her life. You don't have a clue what she's gone through. And so you think that you are so replaceable? The devil is a liar. You're not. You are all that and a baggage. I'm speaking to all my girls right now, especially my girl, Jalea. I'm speaking to Eunice. I want to speak to all my girls. I want to just come on board and right here in Facebook and speak to every last one of you. Margaret, I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to Cheryl Bourne, who's right there on with me. I'm speaking to Lana Evans. Lana, I know you're there. I love you. I'm speaking to Sandra Adams Backus. I love you, girl. I'm speaking to Indira. Indira, you all that in a bag of chips and the dip, the flip and the whip. I'm talking to Marcia Aline. Girl, it doesn't matter what they say. You are all that. Yes, you are. I'm talking to Maureen Davis. I'm talking to Gabrielle Lord, even a young woman like Gabrielle. I'm talking to Tyler Bell, the guy who is, Tyler is always on with us and agrees with the message. So I thank you for your support. I really appreciate that. Who else am I talking to tonight? I'm talking to Heather King. I'm talking to Samantha Griffith. I'm talking to Carol White. Man, I'm glad that you guys are on board with me tonight. Man, it really supports me because sometimes you need a group of girlfriends to come in and say, hey, it's going to be all right. Hey, we going to pray for you. Hey, we looking out for you. Hey, is there anything? I had a girl just emailed me today, and she said, I think she's all the way in New York, or I'm not sure because I was been so busy. But she said, look, if you need a break, come on over. I thought, man, that is the bombdiggity.com. Can you imagine somebody just said, come on over, I got you? Yeah, that's what we want to have. We want to have girls that just reach out and help each other. We got Jeanette who says, yeah, Carita, I got you as well. Wherever you are, Wendy Mears, Kareen Babb, girl, I know you work because you work in the hospital. And then you got a child. Then you got a husband. Then you got your family. Then you work in the church. I know you doing all these things and you still feeling a little tired and stressed out. Every so often you got to take a break, girl. Get it all together. You are not superwoman. You just take your time. It's going to be all right. Do not compare yourself to anyone else. For all of you out there, whether it's Marcia or Eunice or Crystal or Eugene, I just want to say, girls, I just love you so much. If I didn't mention you, it's because I just can't keep up with everybody. Trudy King, thank you for being on board as well. Glad to have you, Cheryl Bourne. Even my friend Ron out there, who's always supportive of me, thank you so much. We have to war for each other. And when I say war for each other, in case that many of you are listening and you don't understand, it means you got to be my ace boon coon, and I got to be yours. Do you know how much time I spend praying for women? Do you know how many women write me on a daily basis that they need prayer because they have cancer? They need prayer because they have diabetes. They need prayer because they have no money for their school tomorrow, the children's school tomorrow. I'm constantly praying for women. And so every so often, I need somebody to pray for me. I'm not ashamed to say that. I need somebody to come in and say, hey, wait, one part of this great life is falling apart. I need y'all to help me get it back on track. Because I'm not superwoman. I am not superwoman. You have to understand that we are not superwomen. God did not design us to be superwomen, and so we do not have to take the fault of the world. In other words, when people say, oh, well, you didn't do this, or you didn't do that, you got to be all right with that. It's all right. I know what else I did, though. I did this. I did that so-and-so didn't do. I did that. I did this over here. I did that. I got to be okay with me. I can't sit there and complain, and receive all this burdensome stuff and take it. No, you got to know who you are. Girl, I'm all that. Marcia, oh my gosh, she is all that. When I tell you all that, that girl is all that. And every so often we encourage each other and we say, look, girl, it is just time to take a break. Just take a break. Go enjoy yourself for a minute. You know, go to a conference, go somewhere where you can just kick back and just, you know, just have a glass of punch and just enjoy yourself. Sometimes we don't take that time. And so when the heat comes on, it makes us feel worn out. I'm encouraging you to really, really take care of the women around you. I'm not saying that we don't take care of the men, but we women we're designed delicate. When somebody comes to us and say, oh, well, you ain't this and you ain't that, remember, hey, baby, it's all soft and good. You know, it's all right. I'm still doing my thing. I'm still trying to get it together. Don't say, well, your nails look just terrible. No, baby, if you want to do something, put it in a nice way. Say, I'm going to help you with your nails today. You know, it's all right to say, well, I want nails, toes, and, you know, this and that. Yeah, but you ain't coming up with no money. How you figure, is she doing all this and she just stretched, she just lost her job, she's trying to get her job back, she's trying to start a business back, she's trying to start a ministry, she's trying to do all these things, take care of the home, whatever she's trying to do, deal with sick family members, here, there, everywhere. She's just maybe going through depression, whatever. She's still trying to get it all together. Do you not think that she wants to be better? Is it that we just sit back and say, no, I just don't want to be better. I just want to be lazy and disgusting the rest of my life? That don't work. Not most of the women. 99.9% of the women that I've met, they want to do better. They want to have more. They want to be a blessing. Are you being a blessing to us? Are you being a blessing to another woman? Are you taking them to the next level? Are you encouraging them every single day of their lives? Because you know that they're all that. You know they brought some tremendous power to your life. If you took a minute and wrote it all down, you would say, God, thank you. Jesus, thank you for this woman in my life. You would say, thank you for this friend. Thank you. Every so often I call my friends, I say, girl, I could not be doing this without you. And I want to give you some thanks today. The same way that God created us to enter his courts with thanksgiving and enter his gates with praise, he is showing us the model for us to be able to teach each other and treat each other. Are you going to treat your girlfriends like that? Are you going to treat your wives that way? Are you just going to toss them away? I'm going to come back and wrap it all up.
Sister, best friend, no, the message is still the same. A girlfriend, get alive. Oh, girlfriend, get alive.
In Northern California, neighbors report a dog is trapped in a nearby concrete wash. The animal appears calm, but is unable to find a way out.
Somehow she got into the canal. They get into the canals. The canals are lined with algae.
And now will they be able to coordinate their efforts?
This hurricane tip comes to you compliments the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the Caribbean Media Corporation. Be prepared. A hurricane watch means there is a possibility of a hurricane within 36 hours.
Transfer that to your salad bowl, and now we toast the nuts. Pour half a cup of sliced almonds into a dry skillet over medium-high heat and toss until they're golden and fragrant. It only takes a few minutes. Then transfer them to your salad bowl along with 3/4 cup of dried cranberries. Pour it over your salad and toss together until every bite is coated in that luscious, creamy dressing.
Sister, best friend, no, the message is still the same. A girlfriend, get alive. Oh, girlfriend, get alive.
Well, you're back with me, Carita Dee. So glad to have you back in the house. And of course, I just want to say some of that stuff that you see in the commercials, that food, I'm feeling it right now. Hey, glad to have you on board with me. Margaret Trotman, always on board. Cheryl Bourne, Lana Evans, thank you for being here. Sandra Adams-Backus, always on board with me. Trudy King, Indira Muhammad, yeah. Marcia Aline, glad to have you on board. Maureen Davis, glad to have you as well. Gabrielle Lord, Heather King. Always glad to, I want to shout out all my girls because I love them so much. Believe me, I do not take this life for granted. I have made so many friends here on the island when I returned to Barbados. So many women reached out to me. So many women are encouraged by what I say. I'm encouraged when I see them and they talk to me and they love on me and they hug me and they kiss me and they give me all this love, you know. Mwah! They give me all this love. I just love it. I do not take that for granted. And so I just want you to know that I covered your prayers. I want your prayers to be the kind of prayers that I never, ever forget. Heather King, thank you so much. I want to keep you in mind all the time because you're always there. Samantha Griffith, thank you for being with me. Carol White, I'm always glad that you're on with me. Trudy King, Maureen Davis, glad to have you on board. Wendy Mears is on board as well. Marcia, of course, you know you're always my ace moon coon and all that. Kareen, love you. Mwah. Indira Mohammed, thank you so much for always being there as well. Want to say in my closing, as we continue here with thinking about women and how we treat each other, always remember that the next woman needs some advice as well. Sometimes you may be hurt by a woman coming in, but I try not to feel like I hate her or I dislike her for whatever reason. Sometimes you may be on the job and another woman comes in and it seems like she's taking over your job. No, I get that she's hurting you in some kind of way. But the fact remains that she needs some help as well. Isn't that interesting? She needs some help as well. She's the kind of person that she may not have had that kind of love. She may not have had the kind of affirmation. So now when she comes in into your environment, she may feel a little intimidated by you. So we need to encourage each other. I don't hate women at all because I always feel there's an issue there. So you may be a little nasty today, or you may have taken somebody's man yesterday, or taken my man, or you could have done any kind of things. But the fact remains, I always say, oh, okay, old girl got an issue, because if she didn't have an issue, she wouldn't be making this bad decision. So I got to reach deep inside of me and get past these layers that I have. The layers that want to say, I'm angry, I'm hurtful, I'm being bitter. I'm not bitter. I am challenging myself. I'm challenging my women that are around me to come together so that we can conquer it together. One can put 1,000, two can put 10,000 to flee. If we can bring a whole group of women together, you would be amazed at what we could accomplish. I remember back in Charlotte, North Carolina, we used to do something called a Vesper service. And the Vesper service was a unique service designed for women. It was where women could come and just sit in the presence of the Lord. It was where women could come and talk to God and just bare their hearts and their souls. A lot of women don't get a chance to do that because they don't trust other women. They don't feel they keep their confidences. They don't feel that they will be loyal to them. That's a big word for me. I'm huge on loyalty. So my friends in my inner circle know they got my back and I got theirs. They never cry me down. Never, ever, ever do my friends cry me down. Never. I got my girl Debbie out there. I got my girl Mel up in Charlotte, North Carolina. I never feel convicted that way with my girls. Those are the kind of people you keep in your inner circle. You don't keep people that saying, girl, I don't know why you wearing that dress today. It don't even look good. Nah. I defy my, anything I would keep somebody in my circle that would do that to me. But at the same time, I am mad at you. You got some issues. That's what you got. You got some serious issues. So when I see women step out and they start doing some crazy, crazy things, I'm saying to myself, man, yeah, look at that. Poor thing. I'm going to have to pray for her. So I keep praying and praying. Will you pray for me tonight? Can I pray for you tonight? Is there something that you need me to pray for you? If there's something that you need me to pray for, just go ahead and give me a call. You know the numbers. They're going to come up right there on the screen. Just go ahead and call the number right now. If you're on Facebook, put the request right now so that I can get to it, because we're going to be praying for all of you and you're all going to be praying for me.
Sister, best friend or wife, the message is still the same. A girlfriend, get a life. Oh, girlfriend, get a life.
Be prepared. Get cash in case ATMs stop working after the hurricane.
Sister, best friend or wife, the message is still the same. A girlfriend, get a life. Oh, girlfriend, get a life.
Well, I'm so glad to be back in the house, and of course, always glad to be with my girlfriends and the guy friends who are always watching too. I appreciate you so much. During the break, I was looking at some of the Facebook comments, and I just got to say, whew, you make me feel like I want to cry. I'm not crying. I'm not crying because I'm sad. I'm not crying because I'm happy. I'm just an emotionally based creature who loves to cry from time to time and relieve the stress and understand that I'm human. I do the best I can with the circumstances that I've been given, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with me. And if other people are not okay with me, then that's their issue. It's not mine. I just want to say a very, very special thank you to Ron Carnegie, who says, if only we as husbands would love our wives like it was her last day on earth. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. Powerful, powerful statement that is, Ron Carnegie. And I do applaud you for saying that. If only we as husbands would love our wives like it was her last day on earth. Also, Patrice Everson says, hey there, I was listening, but I was driving. And also Samantha Griffith says, hi, Carita Dee. I take this opportunity to invite you down to our church. Thank you at Power in the Blood Assembly. Thank you so much. Love y'all so very much. Thank you so much. Also, Corrine says, my mentor, I love you, shaped my life in my 20s. I'm praying. Thank you so much. In the early days of me encouraging women, Corrine and I shared so much time together. She was working in one industry, and I knew she had a heart for nursing. I remember that, Corrine. You always had that passion for being in nursing. And now you got your master's. Hey, what about that PhD? Keep it going, boo. Marilyn Kearney says hi. And Sherry Ann Stevens says, I love you, Carita Dee. I love you, too. I have a heart for women. I must see my women go to the next level. It is absolutely imperative for me that when I leave this earth, that I would have made a significant contribution to the women of my country and to the women of my region. Sometimes I'm praying night after night after night for you, and I pray that you will pray for me, that when the enemy comes to attack my life, that you can just stand in the gap for me as I stand in the gap for you. I love y'all with the love of God. I will never stop loving you. So continue to pray. Just like I pray for you, you pray for me. I know that many of you are thinking, well, what's she going through? It's just another thing, just like you would go through. So just keep praying tonight. And as I go home, I'll be praying for you. I'm Carita Dee, telling you, girlfriends, get a life.
Mother, sister, best friend or wife, the message is still the same. A girlfriend